Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Can you guess what card we're going to be talking about today? Mana Leak. Counter target spell unless its caster pays an additional 3. Now you really have to understand this card in the context of its two closest relatives, which really are Counter Spell and Force Spite. And so what you'll see in a lot of decks in the pre-modern Magic scene is that Counter Spell comes first. You'll put 4 of those in the deck, and then if you want more counter spells, Mana Leak is typically the most popular one to put in second. And the reason for that is this additional cost of 3 is typically going to be more than what your opponent can pay. Now, you imagine the way you play the game, you gain an advantage by using the most mana. And so if you can tap out all your mana every turn, you have a greater chance of winning. And so you exploit their greed by casting Mana Leak against their spells that they've probably come close to tapping out on. And, for Spike, it's a poor substitute against Mana Leak. Really, where Force Spike shines is in Stasis decks where your opponent has no mana. Other than that, it's kind of hard to put this in a deck, even though it only costs 1 mana, so if you play first, you can play a counter spell on your opponent's first turn, but it rapidly loses its utility after that. But counter spell, if you're looking at, hey, they both cost 2 mana, yes, counter spell is 2 blue, Mana Leak is 1 blue, 1 colorless. Again, this is why counter spell you put 4 copies of in a deck first, then you go to Mana Leak. But definitely the most popular number 2 counterspell. And, it's interesting looking through the list of all the counterspells that are pre-modern legal. There are about 50 of them. And you see on, maybe 10 or so, you have this effect of counter unless your opponent pays some mana. But of all of those, Mana Leak definitely rises to the top as the best. So it's only in decks where you are very, very limited on your blue mana and you suspect that paying the 2 blue of counterspell is not going to be possible all the time. Those are the only times when you would really take Mana Leak first over counterspell. But if you've already got 4 copies of counterspell in your deck and you're looking for another counter to put in there, Mana Leak is almost always going to be the best one. So if you like this kind of thing, if you like these beautiful old cards, pre-modern Magic, old vintage decks, and playing with the retro frame, and you love all these old cards, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot.